Hello everyone, in this class we are going to start a new topic in C programming language, that is array. Now look, whenever we write any program, in that program we work with data, and to store the data we use variables. Now the problem with normal variables is the variable can hold only one data at a time. So whenever we need to work with more than one data, at that time we need to declare more than one variables, and there is no limitation on the number of variables that we can declare in a program. But let's say we need 100 data to work with. Now for those 100 data we need to declare 100 different variables. That means we need to keep track which data we are storing in which variable, what are the name of all those variables. So it becomes very hard to keep all those informations. To solve this particular problem, the inventor of C programming language introduced a new concept, and that is an array. Now with the help of an array we can store more than one data using only one variable, and there is no limitations on the number of data that we can store in an array. Clear? So let's start with array. So what is an array? Array is a collection of homogeneous data element. Collection of Now, what does it mean by collection? Collection means more than one data. Then homogeneous means same type. And data elements means constant value. Now, that means an array is a collection of homogeneous data elements that can hold more than one data, but all of those data should be of same type. Clear? So how we can declare an array type variable? Look, an array variable can hold more than one data element. Clear? So first of all we need to define the data type, and then array name, and then in subscript operator we need to specify the number of data that this particular array can hold at max. So that is we called as range. So this is the syntax of array declaration. Now look, this is an array type variable. That means it will used to store data. That means it needs memory to hold all those data that we are going to store in this particular array. So how many memory will required for any particular array? Memory, look, how many elements this particular array can hold? This particular array can hold this number of data. That means this many data this particular array can hold at any particular moment of time. So how many memory we will require for an array? We need this much memory, using which we can store these many data in this particular array. Clear? So this range is the number of data. So for memory we need the range, that means the number of data multiplied with what is the size of each data. What is the size of each data that we can get from this data type? So range multiplied by size of data. So these many bytes will required for any particular array in memory. Clear? Now so let's take an example and see how system will allocate memory for this particular array. Let's say integer, array name is ARR, and then 5. So this is our data type, this is our array name, and look, this data type and range is a number, data type is our data type specified in C programming language, and this array name, the programmer can give any array name as they want. This is programmer dependent. Clear? Now this is our array name and this is our range. That means how many data this particular array can hold. This particular array can hold maximum 5 data at any particular moment of time. And what is what will be the type of those data? Those data need to be integer type. Clear? Now for this data, how many memory will be required? For memory, range multiplied by size of data, size of each data. So what is the range here? Range here 5, and data are of integer type. So what is the size of integer? That means how many bytes we need to store for we need to store a single integer type data. We need 4 bytes. That means total memory will allocate for this particular array is 20 byte. Now how system will allocate those 20 byte memory? From memory, system will create a 20 byte memory block. Here we have 20 bytes memory block, and let's say the base address of this memory block is 2001. So here it will be 2020, and the next byte will be 2021. So this 20 byte is allocated for this particular array. Clear? Now this particular memory block will used to store how many integer value? It will used to store 5 different integer value. Because of that, this 20 byte memory block further divided into 5 different smaller block. And what will be the size of those smaller block? Look, what value this particular array will hold? This particular array will hold integer type value. So what is the size of each integer? Size of each integer is 4 byte. That means each block of this particular array will be of 4 byte. Clear? So here first 4 byte, second 4 byte, third 4 byte, fourth 4 byte, and fifth 4 byte. Let's say this one is 2005, 2009, 2013, and then 2017. Clear? Now these are the 5 smaller blocks in which we will store these 5 different numbers. Clear? Now where is this ARR, the array name? This is the memory part. Now where is this ARR? Look, there is our ARR. Here is our ARR, and the content of ARR is always the base address of the memory block which is allocated to the array. So what is the base address for this particular array? The base address is 2001. So the content of the array name will be 2001. And what will be the address of this array name? The address is again the base address of the array. Clear? Now whenever memory is allocated for an array, that particular memory has 2 views. One is physical view and one is logical view. Now what does it mean by physical view and logical view? Physical view means this particular part exists in our main memory, and logical view means this part is maintained by the system to operate or to work with the array. Clear? So in these 2 parts, which one is physical part and which one is logical part? Physical part is this one, and this one is our logical part. That means system keep track of this information to deal with this particular physically exist memory. Clear? Now the array name contains the base address of this particular block of array. That means this array name is a pointer itself, and that particular pointer is a constant pointer. Now what does it mean by constant pointer? Constant pointer means after allocation the memory, we are not allowed to update that particular value. Clear? That means whenever the memory is allocated for this particular array ARR, the base address of this array will store in this ARR, and it is not permitted to any programmer to update that particular content of array name. In this particular scenario, the array name is ARR and the content of array name is 2001, and this is a address of this particular block of memory, and we are not allowed to change the content of this array name. Clear? That's why we call it constant pointer. So here the array name is a constant pointer. Now look, for this particular array, memory block is already created, and now the time to initialize those particular array elements. Now how system will initialize each element of the array? Clear? So if the programmer did not specify the initial value at that time, system automatically initialize all the elements of an array by garbage value. Clear? So here the initial value of each element of the array will be garbage value. Now coming to the next part, that is how we can access each of these elements of an array. Look, this particular array name ARR contains the base address of this particular memory block. That means the elements of an array are not stored in the array name itself. The elements are stored in this particular memory block only. Now how we can access each of these elements from the array? Look, for that reason, as there is more than one elements are there, to access each of these elements, a new concept was introduced, and that concept is called index concept. Now this range is further divided into indices. Indices means set of index. Now from where this index will start? The index for any array will start from 0, and where the index will end? The index will end 0, 1 to continue range minus 1. This will be the last index of any array. So whenever we specify any range, at that time from this range we can figure out what will be the index used for this particular array. So the array index always start from 0, then next index will be 1, next index will be 2, then how long it will continue? The last index of the array will be range minus 1. Now in this particular case, what is the value of range? Range is 5. That means total how many elements that this particular array can hold? This particular array can hold maximum 5 elements. Now coming to the index part, what will be the index used in this particular array? For this particular array, the indices that used will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now which index will used to identify which particular array element. The first array element will identified by the index 0, the next element will identified by index 1, the next element will identified by index 2, the next element will identify by index 3, the next element will identify by index 4. Clear? This is how we can declare an array, and this is how the memory will allocated for any array. Clear? Now this is an example of an array of integer type. Now let's consider one more array example of some other type. Let's say we are declaring character, array name is, let's say, ARR, and the so here in this particular array declaration, data type is character. That means what type of element this particular array will hold. This particular array will hold character type data element. Now next, what is the range? Range is 10. That means how many elements this particular array can hold. This particular array can hold at max 10 element at any particular moment of time. Now next thing is, what will be the index? Index will be 0, 1, 2, range minus 1, that means 9. Now next point is, how many memory bytes will required for this particular array. So memory size. Memory size is range multiplied by size of each data element. So what will be the size of each data element? In this case, each data will be of character type. That means the size of each data will be only 1. So memory size will be 10 into 1, that means 10 bytes. Clear? Now allocate the memory. Now we already know all the information that we can derive from this particular array declaration statement. Now coming to the memory allocation part, how system will allocate memory for this array. So here how many bytes are there? 10 bytes are there. And how many smaller blocks will be there? 10 smaller blocks will be there. And what will be the size of each smaller block? Size of each smaller block will be 1 byte. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's say the base address is 3001. So this one will be 3002, 3003, 3004, 3005, 3006, 3007, 3008, 3009, 3010. So these are the 10 bytes that allocated to this particular array ARR. Now the array name, this is our physical part. Now coming to the logical part. In logical part, the array name will be there. The content of array name will be 3001. The address of this particular array name again 3001. So this is our logical part, and it is pointing to this particular base address of the whole array. Clear? Now coming to the next index part. What will be the index of this particular first element? The index of this particular element will be 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we already done all the phases of memory allocation part. Now next part is value initialization. Now is there any value initialized with this part, with this declarative statement? No, there is no value specified with this declarative statement. So how system will initialize the allocated memory? System will initialize the allocated memory with garbage value. So each of these particular blocks will contain garbage value. Clear? So this is how we can declare an array of character type, and when we declare an array of character type, at that time system will allocate memory in this manner. Clear? Now let's say we declare an array of float type and the range is 3. So now data type is float. So size of data, each data will be 4 byte only. Range is 3. So range 3 means how many float type data this particular array can hold. This particular array can hold 3 independent float type data at any particular moment of time. Now the indexes will be 0, 1, 2. Now coming to the memory size, what will be the size? Look, the range is 3 and the size of each array element is 4 byte. So how many total byte will allocate for this particular array? Total byte will be 12 byte. Clear? Now coming to the memory allocation part. This is the memory block of 12 bytes. Now this memory block of 12 bytes will further divided into 3 smaller parts, and the size of each smaller block will be 4 byte. That means here 3 smaller blocks are there. Let's say the base address is again 4001. So here it will be 4001, here it will be 4005, 4009. Look, this particular smaller block is of 4 byte, this one is also 4 byte, this one is also 4 byte. Because of that I write it as 4001, 4002, 3, 4, then 4005, and then 6, 7, 8, then 4009. Clear? So I kept only the base address of each smaller block, and remaining 3 byte number I did not specify in this particular representation. Clear? Now coming to the index part. What will be the indices of this particular array elements? First one will be 0, second one will be 1, third one will be 2. It is 2. And then what will be the initial value? The initial value will be garbage. Why? Because we did not specify any value at the time of variable declaration or array declaration. Clear? Now next let's take one example of double, and let's say the range is 4. Now data type is double. So size of each data type will be 8 byte. Range is 4. So what will be the indices? Indices will be 0, 1, 2 and then 3. Now coming to the memory size. So the range is 4 and the size of each element is 8. So total byte will be 32 byte. Clear? Now memory allocation. So how many smaller blocks will be there? 4 smaller blocks will be there, and the last index will be 3, initialized with garbage value, and the address will change here. Here how many total bytes are there? Total 32 bytes are there. So what will be the next byte? That means what will be the base address of next smaller block? Look, the first byte is 4001 and it contains 8 byte total. So what will be the first byte of next block? That means what is this particular address? This particular address will be 4009. Now what will be the base address of next particular smaller block? The next base address of this particular block will be here it is 17, here it is 20, 25. So the base address of this particular whole 32 byte memory block is 4001, and the size of each smaller block is 8 byte. So what will be the base address of next smaller block? That means for this smaller block the base address will be 4009. Now this particular block again 8 byte. That means what will be the base address of next block? Next block base address will be 4009 plus 8. That means 4017. Now this particular block again 8 byte. So what will be the base address of next block? Again 4017 plus 8. That means 4025. Now what will be the next block? What will be the next address or byte number after this particular block? After this particular block, that will be the 4033.